Hello and welcome back to Books and Tea with Katie. I'm Katie, your host, and today we're reviewing a book. I'm really excited about this. I plan on doing book reviews at least once a month, maybe more if it's well received. It's a wonderful opportunity to introduce new authors to you, support my fellow authors, and promote literacy all in one fell swoop. It's proven that reading helps with language art skills, creative expression, math, and brain health. And since this is a podcast about books, then let's talk books. First off, I've got a lovely author by the name of Ileana Muñoz-Renfroe. And to fill you in on a little bit about her background, she was born in Cuba and raised in New York City's Washington Heights. Ileana grew up amidst a background of bodegas and spying abuelas and large family gatherings. Ileana brings her language, the culture, and experiences into her writing, and the readers, we get a feel for this on the very first page. She uses Spanish phrases throughout, they're kind of peppered throughout, and it adds a wonderful depth to the stories. In Murder at the Campground, it's book one of her The Cuban Psychic Mysteries, a tarot and vintage caravan mystery series. We meet Rosalia Gomez, lovingly referred to as Nana by her family and friends, but she's not an ordinary lady. She's 72, a mature woman who is a psychic and tarot reader. She has a familiar, Moro, who is a Shiba Inu dog that she telepathically talks to, which puts her in comical situations throughout the book because nobody else knows this. They might think she's kind of crazy, right? Because not only does she talk to her dog and he talks back, she can see ghosts and, add that on to her tarot card business and you got yourself a great setup for a cozy mystery series. This is a spin-off series to her well-received Rosa, the Cuban Psychic Mysteries, as these women are nieta, which my understanding is that means granddaughter, and abuela, grandmother. We meet Rosalia, aka Nana, as a woman who's survived a poisoning attempt, and she's undecided about next steps in her life. One side of her, seems to want to get out and kind of break free of the negative memories, or so it seems. Moro and her spirit guide, Raul, who is, I love him, he's a saucy character. They seem to push her to get off Colton Island and away from all the bad memories, just at least for a while. Colton Island, from my understanding, is off of Florida. So they want her, and she wants to take time to refresh and kind of rejuvenate. She has camp-loving friends, Juana and Eddie, that subsequently convince her to take a year-long trip caravanning in Vermont, up to Vermont. Now, I do have a blurb for this book. I'll read that to you now. Tarot cards, a caravan, and mayhem. Rosalia Gomez, known to her family and friends as Abuela Nana, has decided it's time for a new adventure. Everything is set in motion. She has gone out and purchased her very own vintage caravan. The members of the Coastal Caravan Club from Miami are happy she has finally decided to join them on their trip to Vermont. She has secured someone she trusts to run La Misteriosa Cafe. She has even told her Cuban family that she's leaving on a road trip. So everything is perfect, right? Well, not exactly. Along the way, Nana finds out the caravan has a special guest. And then to make matters worse, when she arrives at the campsite, there's a dead body. Between conducting tarot card readings and trying to figure out who the killer is, Nana has her hands full. Will she succeed in solving this mystery? She has to if she wants to return home. Okay, so that's the blurb. What do you think? It's intriguing. At least I think so. Ileana lists a cast of characters after the prologue that lead us on so she has a prologue in this book, which is good. I think we need to know because this is a spinoff series, we need to know kind of a little bit about the background and some of the characters. But this is definitely a murder mystery whodunit, along with the surprise spectral guest inhabiting Nana's caravan. Nana settles in to find out that not only is there a murderer, but that a camper has also gone missing. So there's two mysteries in this book, and I absolutely love that because these murder tales are woven together in such a way that it brings more depth and mystery to this book. Not only that, but the cast of characters are kind of quirky. Each has an opportunity or a secret that could pinpoint them as the killer. So you have affairs to heart, to greed, so the stage is set. Will she make it out alive? I love the Cuban references mixed with the Cuban culture mixed with the American culture. It adds a layer to this book that's often missing in other cozy mysteries. The characters are well-rounded, and to say that they're quirky is an understatement. There's a lot of them, but Ileana gives a list at the beginning of the book after the prologue to keep everyone's, straight. And a traveling caravan is a wonderful idea for a series because each book will then have its own place with obstacles in the way. And I love that idea because in most cozy mysteries you have small towns and it's permanent. And you start to Murder, She Wrote. I love that series. But after a while you're like, is there anybody left alive in the town? So, and even with that show, they take her on trips and stuff. This way, with a moving caravan, you have, it's rich. It just can go on and on and on. You've got multiple different settings that you can go to. And I think that that's a wonderful idea. Campground is an excellent spot for murder, don't you think? This story takes place, obviously, in a campground in Vermont, and you have vintage caravans. The main character is an amateur sleuth, although we get the impression that she's been through this before, but she finds herself smack dab in another murder case. But this isn't your typical mystery whodunit. You've got tarot cards, you've got psychic elements, and obviously the touch of the supernatural, all adding to the depth of the story. I also have to say that the setting really makes this book, I think. Ileana has a great gift for building atmosphere and for settings. The campground is more than just a backdrop in this. You've got the vintage caravans, an eclectic mix of residents who all have their own secrets. As readers, though, it draws us in. I think everybody can, relate. Not everybody, but a lot of people can. I mean, a lot of us go to camps when we're younger, some type of camp, some type of situation like that, and you can really put yourself into that situation. So it helps draw the reader in. And as we're drawn in, we can't help but try and piece together the clues and the red herrings alongside Nana. So let's talk a bit about Nana and the other characters and the themes. Our protagonist, Nana, she is an intuitive amateur sleuth, right? And she relies heavily on her intuition to guide her in these investigations. She's not obviously a detective by trade, but her unique approach to problem solving, which is with tarot cards and her gut instinct and Raul, or spirit guide, and the supernatural, it sets her apart from these typical cozy mystery leads. And she is very confident, and I love that because in a lot of I don't care really what genre you're in, a lot of the females are insecure, they're low self-esteem, they're not confident, and I love this, that she's really confident and believes in herself. The secondary characters are not really secondary, at least not to me. They're three-dimensional, they're well-crafted, they each have traits that set them apart from the rest and help you remember who they are. And again, if you can't remember them, she does have a list of characters Some you'll love, probably some, we don't. And some alert our spidey senses. You kind of go, something's not right here. And it sets in play loads of red herrings in the story and then helps keep us guessing throughout. And I love that too. Again, we have Nana Rosalia Gomez. She's 72 and she can speak to the dead. She's a tarot card reader. We have Waltzing Matilda. She is 34, Romani, and she was the original caravan owner. Moro, the Shiba Inu that I talked about, her familiar, her dog. And then we do have the Miami Coastal Caravan Club members. So just to name a few, Bill, Juana Eddie, we've got Mario, Sally, Leonardo, Linda. There's a lot, but they each have their own part to play, and I just absolutely love that. Themes are heavy with community. Community themes are heavy in this. Intuition, heavy in this. I love that she explores how intuition, both through tarot and a gut feeling sense, and Nana can play a role in understanding people and understanding and uncovering clues. There's also a strong sense of camaraderie within this campground community, for better and for worse, right? But this is even as they wrestle with this unsettling murder in their midst. Now, there are a few questions that when I read through a book that I have for the author, I think we can all relate to that. And I have the benefit of actually being in touch with these authors. So I asked a few, where did you get the inspiration for the character of Nana? The main protagonist, Nana, is loosely based on the author's own abuela, her own grandmother, which is always exciting. I think as authors, we have to. It's inevitable that we're bringing elements of our own lives into our writings, and Ileana's no different. And Nana is loosely based off of her own abuela. How did you come up with the setting of the caravan? The author has always been fascinated by the gypsy life, the Romani life, and the caravans that they traveled in back in the day. Thus, a tarot and vintage caravan mystery series. I find it fascinating too. Who's your favorite character? Well, I think we can all guess it's Nana. Although another favorite of hers is the spirit guide Raul. Again, he is I say saucy, sassy character. I really loved him a lot. He's not in this as much as I would like, actually, but I understand why she did it the way she did it. However, I was pleased to see that there are books that he does play a bigger role, and so there is that. If you're interested, if you like Raul. Who is your favorite author? She said Agatha Christie was the first author that she read, and after that, she was hooked. Agatha Christie's inspired many an author, hasn't she? I love that. And what are your genres? So Ileana has written a children's book and is working on the continued series here. She's got books 2 through 4 coming out in 2025. And I asked, is there a new book ready for launch? And the response is there are actually 3 books on pre-order right now. 3. I'll read the blurbs to you about those. They're on pre-order, so if anything sounds great to you, go to Amazon, because she's on Amazon. And she has some books in Kindle Unlimited, so for those that are on a tight budget and are in that program and paid for that, go read them. Support indie authors. So 3 books on pre-order. Each book introduces a new mystery, expanding on the worlds that she's created. And for fans of paranormal cozy mysteries, it's a treat to see that this hasn't stopped, that there's more on the horizon. She's obviously a prolific writer, but here are a list of her other books and some in the works. So we've got Holiday Heist. Again, this is on Amazon. You can find her books on Amazon. I'll read the blurb. So Holiday Heist is a cozy mystery set in the charming town of Holiday Corner, Vermont. The story revolves around Celeste and Edwin, who are eagerly preparing for their wedding. However, their celebration takes on a deeper meaning when they decide to host a fundraiser in conjunction with their nuptials to support the Sutton family, who have fallen on hard times. As the town comes together to help, the excitement builds for what promises to be the biggest event Holiday Corner has ever seen. but the festive atmosphere is shattered when a priceless necklace, generously donated by the wealthy and mysterious Amelia Fairweather, goes missing. To make matters worse, Elise Cherrywood, Amelia's assistant, is found dead in her room at Mistletoe Manor on the morning of the wedding. The story takes a darker turn as suspicion falls on Amelia, who becomes the prime suspect in the murder investigation. With tensions running high and the town in shock, Sheriff Francis is determined to uncover the truth. As the investigation unfolds, it becomes clear that not everything is as it seems, and Amelia may not be the true killer. Through twists and turns, Holiday Heist keeps readers on the edge of their seats, blending the warmth of a small-town holiday celebration with the intrigue of a murder mystery. With themes of community, generosity, and a search for justice, this cozy mystery is a heartwarming yet suspenseful read that will leave readers guessing until the very end. That's one. What do you think? We have another one called The Hidden Tomb, a Cuban cozy mystery. Dr. Isabella Cruz Mysteries, Book 1, again on Amazon. The blurb reads, The Hidden Tomb, the first in the Dr. Isabella Cruz Mysteries, takes readers on a quirky, cozy adventure filled with ancient secrets, ghostly whispers, and plenty of humor. When Dr. Isabella Cruz stumbles upon her grandfather Arturo Ramirez's old journal detailing his obsession with a mysterious artifact said to hold special powers, she can't resist the allure of Egypt's hidden treasures. Enlisting the help of her clumsy but lovable friend, blogger Cecilia Alvarez, and sharp-witted writer Patricia Fernandez, the trio heads off on an adventure of a lifetime. Their expedition takes a turn when they meet historian Philip Diaz, a knowledgeable but somewhat eccentric guide who quickly becomes part of their team. Together, they navigate from the chaotic streets of Cairo to the serene banks of the Nile, searching for the fabled hidden tomb that Arturo spent years pursuing. But it's not all pyramids and papyrus. As they delve deeper into Egypt's ancient mysteries, they find themselves facing murder, betrayal, and the spirit of Cleopatra's half-sister, who has her own cryptic agenda. With sinister forces threatening their every step, the group must solve riddles, dodge deadly traps, and outwit adversaries who will stop at nothing to protect the tomb's secrets. Along the way, the ghostly half-sister adds a supernatural twist to their journey, guiding, and sometimes misleading, them as they uncover the truth about the artifact Arturo sought. In The Hidden Tomb, friendship, laughter, and danger abound, making this Cuban cozy mystery an enthralling, lighthearted ride through the ancient wonders of Egypt. Okay, what do you think about that? And then she has another on pre-order. It's called Cipher, Mobsters, and a Sphinx, a Candido Brudinkle mystery. It's book 1, again on Amazon. In Cipher, Mobsters, and a Sphinx, retired cipher decoder Candido Brudinkle sinks the peaceful life of Killian Cove after years of globetrotting adventures. Alongside his witty, mysterious feline companion, Bartholomew, Candido settles into a quiet routine of crossword puzzles and decoding cryptic messages sent by Norman, the local bookstore owner. He anticipates a tranquil life in this charming seaside town, but things take a sudden dark turn. A mysterious coded message leads Candido to Norman's bookstore, where he stumbles upon a chilling discovery: a dead body, a missing bookmark crucial to cracking the code, and Norman nowhere in sight. As if that weren't enough, a close friend is soon murdered, pulling Candido deeper into the shadows of Killian Cove's secrets. Reluctantly drawn back into the world of intrigue and danger, Candido and Bartholomew embark on a perilous quest to untangle the mystery behind the murders and Norman's disappearance. What begins as a search for answers reveals a tangled web of mobsters, hidden agendas, and unlikely alliances that threatens the very fabric of the town. With each cryptic clue, they navigate the dark underbelly of Killian Cove's criminal underworld, racing against time to solve the puzzle before they, too, become targets. Cipher, Mobsters, and a Sphinx offers a delighted blend of wit, mystery, and cunning puzzles as Candido, Brudinkle, and Bartholomew unravel the hidden secrets buried in the quiet town of Killian Cove. That's interesting. Killian Cove. That's I love that. I love that name for a town. To stay in touch with this author, okay, Ileana Muñoz-Renfroe. To stay in touch with her, please join her Facebook group. It's called Renfroe's Reading Room. RENFROES Reading Room. Renfroe's Reading Room. And again, that's on Facebook. But back to Murder at the Campground. Why should you pick up a copy of Murder at the Campground and read it? Well, this series has a little bit of everything. You've got the cozy charm, if you love cozy mysteries, a touch of the supernatural, right? So ghosts. And you've got relatable characters. If you're a fan of cozy mysteries, but you want a bit of an unconventional twist, this series might be exactly what you're looking for. Ileana's writing style is warm and engaging. It makes you feel kind of right at home right off the bat, and it makes it easier to become immersed into the story. She does paint vivid pictures without going into purple prose, without going overboard. I always like to kind of fill in the gaps, and she does this beautifully. From her vintage caravan setup to the small town feel of the campground, and to the atmosphere that gives the story its charm. One of the reasons I think readers will enjoy this series is Ileana's skill in blending like this lighthearted nature of a cozy mystery with elements that make you think a little bit deeper. Tarot cards, if you're into tarot cards, the supernatural for like ghosts, and the strong sense of community. I love that about the book. It makes for a unique mix that I think will keep readers interested. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me on Books and Tea with KD. I hope you've enjoyed our kind of, I guess you'd call it a deep dive into Murder at the Campground. And I hope you found some new books to add to your reading list. If you're interested in the paranormal cozy mysteries, Ileana Muñoz-Renfroe's series is definitely worth exploring. You can find her books at Amazon, and don't forget to stay in touch with her. Please join her Facebook group, Renfroe's Reading Room. Make sure to tune in next time for more book chats and recommendations. And as always, feel free to connect with me on social media or share your thoughts if you end up reading this series. I want to know, so let me know. You can send me an email at katieuptonauthor@gmail.com. And until next time, keep sipping your tea and enjoying those mysteries. Thank you.